So, you ever...
I'll be back.
Vulcan, you must help me. The prince is dying.
Well, I'm happy to see that my talents as a doctor are finally being recognized.
There's no doubt an explosion would cure him of all his ills forever. But I was actually thinking about your connections with the Red Scribes. If you could speak to them, it would save me having the prince's death on my conscience.
I wouldn't exactly call myself a friend of theirs, but yeah, I can always give it a try. I have a few questions I need to ask you. Who is the elf in the healing house? Is he really your prince?
He is Prince Arundel, the son of our king and heir to the Elven crown. Therefore, yes, he is our king.
How the hell did he end up here?
Prince Arundel led a detachment of the Elven army sent to harass the Deadwalkers. And when he reached Bastion, he fell into an ambush. I got wind of this trap, but by the time I arrived, it was too late. When I caught up to the prince, he was already wounded, and most of his soldiers were dead. Those who survived covered our retreat.
To here?
Yes. The route to Carolthas was too dangerous. I knew about this village and felt that it would be secure for at least a little while. As soon as he gets better, we shall leave for Carolthas. The remainder of the human and elven armies are gathering there. That is where the final stage of the war will be played out.
Let's change the subject. So, is the prince doing any better?
He is still in a coma. He doesn't seem much better, no.
I'm going to speak with the Red Scribe's doctor. He might know of a cure.
Thank you.
Let's change the subject. I'll leave you here.
Leave me, Vulcan. I don't want to talk right now.
I'm sorry about your dad. She took me by surprise. I didn't have time to protect him.
Even though I wish you could have saved him, it's not your fault. It's that witch.
Yeah, but it is understandable that she'd be mad at your father.
Whatever he did to her, he didn't deserve to die like that. She's a murderer, a monster.
A monster that maybe just saved your life.
Perhaps. But why did my father have her imprisoned? Did he know she would try to kill him?
He had us to protect him. And if he hadn't shown up in the middle of the swamp, he'd still be alive. It just doesn't make sense. We have to find out what he was doing. He must have been up to something, because he didn't talk to anyone about it. Not even the people who were supposed to be taking care of him.
What are you accusing him of?
Nothing, really. I'm just asking questions. But I'm gonna need your help to find the answers.
I will help you. I need to know what happened as much as you.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
Do you know what happened to me in the temple?
I'm still searching for an explanation. Something must have gone wrong during the ritual.
But what was the damn ritual supposed to do?
The Red Scribes have always had quite limited magical skills. I believe that the ritual was meant to increase their magical powers to try and find a way of combating the Ice Lords. But instead of channeling pure energy into each of the scribes, the ritual called forth a conscience that settled in you.
Your father called it a demon. How come I got stuck with it?
A demon? That reminds me of the old texts, but I couldn't say if that's what it is. You were standing right there, so that force flowed into you. It could have been my father, or any of us, I guess.
Well, that's just great. Now what do I do?
I would dearly like to help you. But even though I have searched through all the texts I have here, I can find no reference to anything like this experience of yours, at least for now. But until we have found out more, you must try to fight against this thing. Do not allow it to get comfortable. We don't know what its intentions are or how powerful it is. It could be dangerous for you.
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
I have discovered a few things about the small chrysalids. They are much faster, but it seems that they can only attack from close up, using their pinchers. I also noticed that the medium-sized chrysalids were slower than small ones, but they, however, can fire tiny projectiles. I observed that the Rippers always hide inside objects, like a tree trunk, for example. They're quite slow and only attack from a very close distance. On the other hand, they can grab their prey and drag them towards themselves. The sickles have a power that depends on their growth. The biggest ones are the most dangerous. Up close, their attacks can be frenetic and extremely dangerous. They can also leap onto their prey. Have you discovered any new creatures?
We did fight a creature that we called the Swamp Beast.
As you may remember, I was there and saw it with my own eyes.
I'm no expert, but it was bizarre, wasn't it?
Bizarre? What do you mean?
I fought with enough creatures to know how they move and how they behave. That one just wasn't right. It was as though it was already suffering before I even hit it.
I think you're right. I think it was already under the influence of several kinds of corruption. I think it was suffering terribly.
Do you think it was that corruption that killed everything all around?
Without a doubt.
So then, any result from the study?
Have you discovered any new...
I destroyed some kind of fungi or parasite. They're like a round ball that doesn't move. But if you go too close to them, they release a poisonous cloud. It's better to attack them from a distance. So then,
Have you discovered...
What can you tell me?
Many of the... There are many...
The work.
It's what... If you...
I need your help. Come with me?
If you want.